Most of us have probably been there, taking the last train home after a long day. It's quiet, maybe a little eerie, but nothing more. But what if that simple, everyday journey just went completely off the rails into an absolute nightmare? Well, tonight we're diving into a story that starts exactly like that.
So just picture it. You're exhausted, it's late, and all of a sudden, that familiar rumble of the train just stops. Dead silence. You're surrounded by nothing but darkness outside. What's the first thought that goes through your head? I mean, it's a scenario designed to put you on edge, right? And that is precisely where our story kicks off.
All right, so let's meet Rhea. She's just wrapped up a super long day at work, and she's finally on the very last train heading home. She's tired, she's basically alone in the ladies' coach, and all she's thinking about is getting back to her husband. Pretty relatable stuff.
And then it happens. The train lurches to a halt in the middle of nowhere. She makes a quick call to her husband Suhas, which is a small comfort, but it doesn't last. It's now 12:30 in the morning. She looks around. The coach is completely empty, and the silence outside is just deafening.
All of a sudden, she gets that feeling. You know the one? The feeling that someone is right behind you. She doesn't dare to turn around. Instead, she does something really clever. She turns on her phone's front-facing camera, pretending to check her reflection to see what's behind her. At first, nothing. And then, a dark shadow just zips across the screen, and it's gone. Her heart starts pounding. Did she really see that? Or was it just her tired mind playing tricks on her?
The train finally jerks back to life and pulls into Badlapur station. You'd think she'd be relieved, but that feeling doesn't last. The station is totally deserted, and as she starts walking, she hears it. Footsteps, echoing her own. She walks a little faster, the footsteps get faster. She whips around, expecting to see someone, and there's nobody there. This is far from over.
The only way for her to get home is through this long, dark pedestrian tunnel. She has no other option. So she takes a deep breath and steps inside. The darkness is immediate, and her phone's flashlight barely cuts through it. Her own footsteps are echoing all around her, and then a new sound joins in. A faint but unmistakable sound of a person crying.
As she pushes deeper into that suffocating darkness, one terrifying fact becomes crystal clear. She is definitely not alone.
She's trembling, but she manages to call out, her voice shaky. "Kaun hai Mahan? Who is there?" The words just bounce off the damp tunnel walls. She points her phone's flashlight beam towards the sound, her heart just hammering in her chest.
And there, in that small circle of light, she sees her. It's a little girl, maybe 12 years old, just sitting on the ground sobbing. You can't see her face at all. It's completely covered by her long dark hair. And Rhea's first reaction isn't even fear. It's concern. What is a child doing here all by herself?
So Rhea cautiously asks if she's okay, if she can help. The girl slowly lifts her head, and the crying just stops. It's replaced by a laugh. And let me tell you, this is not a normal laugh. It's a sound that's filled with this horrifying mixture of pain and just pure, chilling madness. It goes right through you.
As Rhea keeps the light on the girl, her phone's flashlight sputters and goes out for just a split second. When it comes back on, the girl's gone, vanished. Rhea frantically sweeps the light from wall to wall. The tunnel is empty. How is that even possible? Then she hears a sound, a weird, scratching sound, coming from above her. Hesitantly, she tilts her phone up, pointing the light towards the ceiling of the tunnel, and what she sees just rips a gasp from her throat.
Tum upar kaise ho sakti ho? How can you be up there?
Because the girl is there. She's clinging to the ceiling like some kind of insect, just hanging upside down. Her hair is dangling towards the floor, and her eyes are wide open, locked right onto Rhea. Before Rhea can even process it, the girl lets out this inhuman shriek and just leaps straight down at her. Okay, now let's jump forward. 2 agonizing hours have passed, and back at home, Rhea's husband, Suhas, is starting to panic. Big time. You can just feel his anxiety building. At 12:30 a.m., he got that weird disconnected call from her. By 1 a.m., all his calls to her are just ringing and ringing, no answer. Finally, at 2 a.m., he can't take it anymore. He grabs his keys and he is out the door, racing to find her. Suhas gets to the empty station and eventually makes his way to that same dark tunnel, and his heart
just drops. There, on the filthy ground, is Ria's scarf. His worst fears are starting to come true. And then he hears it. A noise coming from deeper in the tunnel. A rhythmic, sickening, thudding sound. Sahas takes a breath and heads into the darkness, towards that horrible sound. He's about to find his wife, but what's waiting for him in that tunnel, it's not the Ria he knows and loves. And then he sees her. It's Ria. And she is just systematically, brutally banging her head against the concrete wall, over and over. There's blood pouring down her face, but she doesn't seem to feel a thing. And when she finally turns to look at him, her eyes are a solid, terrifying white. She stops the banging, and this awful smile spreads across her bloody face. A voice comes out of her mouth. It sounds like her, but it's not. It's hollow. It's wrong. Suhas, Tamage. Suhas, you've come. Sahas is just broken by the sight. He rushes forward to hold her, to help her. And as he's embracing her, this thing wearing his wife's face whispers into his ear, a final, chilling promise. Ab tumhe sab samajh aayega. Now you will understand everything.
And then her arms tighten around him with this impossible, bone-crushing strength. He tries to pull away, but he can't. Her face twists into a snarl, and she lunges, sinking her teeth deep into the side of his neck. A violent, tragic end to a desperate search. The next morning, of course, a horrific discovery is made. The police are called to the scene, and they try to piece together what happened in that tunnel.
So, what's the official story? Well, it's chillingly simple. They find two bodies. Ria's cause of death is ruled as massive head trauma, apparently self-inflicted. Suhas died from blood loss from the wound on his neck. So the case is pretty much open and shut for them, a tragic murder-suicide. And the tunnel, it gets sealed off for good.
But you know how these things go. The official report is never the whole story. The locals, they'll tell you something different. They say that tunnel isn't silent. If you go there late at night and stand by the sealed entrance, you can still hear it. The faint sound of a little girl crying, followed by the sickening thud of a head hitting a concrete wall. And the legend says that anyone who tries to find the source of those sounds, they don't come back. Which really only leaves one question for you. Would you dare to go listen?